No, sorry. I was just checking my watch. Something recently got me in the habit of doing that. A lot. Alright, let's do this shit. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jake, the Scary Story Guy, and today we are talking about a movie called Skinamarink. And I say movie like it's a question because it is a question. Let's just dive right in. Skinamarink is a movie in the same way that a lot of modern art is art. Like it's an exhibit where it's just a table with a banana on it. And everyone's standing around it ponderously, like, oh, I wonder what the artist meant by this. And it's like, bitch, what artist? It's a banana. Now, I understand that to some extent, artistic merit is in the eye of the beholder. There are works of art, films, that I fully recognize are great, or at least worthwhile, even though they're really not for me. But what I don't have much patience for are projects where I walk away feeling like, I could have done that. Right? Like, I could have put a banana on a table. I've done it before. In fact, why did I just pay to watch someone else do it? When I was like 8 years old, me and a couple kids in my neighborhood got our hands on this camcorder. And so we went to these abandoned shops and we found like an old dress and a walker. And we made this series of movies called Super Grandma, about a superhero grandma, starring me. And as I was watching Skinamarink, I realized that it actually kind of felt like an homage to the Super Grandma cinematic universe. Very choppy editing, almost as if every scene change was made by simply turning the camera off, moving it to a new place, and turning it back on. That like fuzzy, grainy home video quality that feels like the Chinese water torture to watch after about 15 seconds. Shots of random objects that linger for so long it feels like it was probably an accident. The influences are undeniable. Really, the main difference between the two is that Super Grandma had a discernible plot. At one point while filming, we came across a beehive, and so we made some script changes on the spot and decided that Super Grandma had to save a kid from the bees. Granted, it was a very small beehive, and I'm pretty sure none of the bees were actually visible in the final cut, but despite that, that still would have been the coolest scene in Skinamarink by a considerable margin. I will say this, for Skinamarink, if you've ever been watching a movie and thought to yourself, wait, that blank wall looked f***ing great. I wish the camera had lingered on it for 3 f***ing minutes. This might be the movie for you. You know how sometimes directors will do that really cool one-shot thing where the scene just keeps going and going and going, and you realize, like, the camera hasn't cut away in so long. How are they doing this? Skinamarink has several scenes like this, except the camera isn't pointed at anything, and nothing happens. Now, you'll notice that we're a few minutes into this review, and I still haven't told you what Skinamarink is about. I cannot stress this enough. It's not about anything. It's just a sequence of grainy, alternating shots of a dark house. That's actually all it is. Okay, sometimes you might get a shot of like a distinct object, like a phone or a toy or a chair. Other times, it might just be the carpet fuzz. There are a couple of children existing in the house. Sometimes you might see their feet walking on the carpet fuzz. So that's always exciting. Every 15 minutes, one of them may whisper something like, "Where's mommy?" Or, "I'm scared." But God forbid you actually find out. Oh shit. But God forbid you actually find out what they're scared of. And this is where I think the Super Grandma series really elevates itself above Skinamarink, right? In that series, if a child was frightened of something, you knew that Super Grandma would show up. She would state very loudly and clearly the precise nature of the threat, and then she would do battle with it. I have never been more flabbergasted, more discombobulated by positive reviews of something in my entire life. I got genuinely excited to see this movie solely on the basis of how many reviews I saw from people being like, this is the most terrified I've ever been. I can only assume that these people must have spent half their childhoods locked in a barn, right? Forced to eat gruel and do nothing but watch the most boring art house movies mankind has ever devised, right? And so when they came across Skinamarink as an adult, it brought back some repressed memories for them. That, or they're just giant pussies. I need you to hear me, okay? Not just hear me, but truly, in your soul, hear me. This movie is 100 minutes long. It could have been 3 minutes long, with absolutely nothing of import removed. There's not even closing credits. I was hoping it was going to be one of those things where it's like, yeah, technically it's an hour 40, but actually 8 of those minutes are closing credits, so it's really more like an hour and a half. No, I suppose closing credits usually imply that multiple humans have worked together to, like, accomplish something. At the end of Skinamarink, it just says, the end. And at that blessed moment, I was struck by a really remarkable mixture of relief and rage. A rage that could best be described as exquisite. I wouldn't be surprised to learn that this whole movie, such as it is, was a social experiment. Like, are there limits to what people will pretend to enjoy in their quest to appear artistically discerning? There are really people out there, in public, who are giving 5-star reviews to a collection of fuzzy B-roll. I will not be one of them. Look, if you actually enjoyed this movie, if you found it compelling in any way, I'm truly happy for you, okay? I think you're silly, but I'm happy for you. Now, Skinamarink is the platonic ideal of a 0-star film, but Letterboxd will only let me go down to half a star. So, congrats, Skinamarink. Enjoy your half a star. You didn't earn it. Feels like I'm giving to charity. Alright guys, I think we've covered it. Stay tuned for some Stephen King reviews in the next couple weeks that will hopefully wash this taste out of my mouth. In the meantime, thank you for watching my video. Here's hoping it saved you an hour and 40 minutes of your life, and here's hoping you survive to see the next one.